Hello, everyone. In today's session, I'm going to do a tutorial on command find and exec, and it's going to be at my web university. This is going to be interactive and real time. So you will learn the command, how to use the find command to search for files and directories, as well as how to execute on the process to create a new sub process and just get a different result as of the output. So I will show you the command find and command exec combined together, how they run together. And it's going to be very, very useful for system administrator people, for developers, for programmers. And you could do this one on the interactive at the command line, as well as you could write it in a bash or awk or some other Python and other scripting to just call it. So you could search for the directory. Usually it's the best to do it inside a shell, which is a Bourne shell, bash, or corn shell, or subshell, like any other shell, whether it's a bash or ZSH, or corn shell, or C shell, or true C shell, it is a shell. So let me show you what I'm going to do that today. First, I'm going to introduce you to my web university, which is this channel that you're watching right now. You're welcome to subscribe and join to our channel and watch our videos, and I really appreciate it. So let's do that one on the Linux machine. In this case, I have already started a Red Hat Linux Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And let me just log in first. So the screensaver is right now is asking me to log in. And then I'm going to just clear screen here and then do a PWD. So as you can see, I'm on this directory. Let me just clear screen completely, CD to the slash, and then clear screen here, and CD to slash tutorial. Tutorial inside here, I have a directory called how to. So if I want to just find all the files that are inside this directory and then subdirectories of that one, then I could do a ls command here, ls and then say ls how to, but then that would only show me that what is in the content of how to directory. So, but then if I want to just look at the subdirectory of that one, I could do -r, and then this one, and then I could do a 5 more. So since it's a lot of them, I could just look at all of them one by one. But that's too much to do this one. And then if I just have to do this and then say grep -i, start.sh or anything with, let's say the name, whatever name file I'm looking for, or grep for .sh, shells, then it will list all the files with the .sh. But that's not the a neat way to do it. So there's a command called find. So I say, what is a find command? Find command is a Linux or Unix command. You can find the command on Unix as well as Linux distribution, and then you're searching, for files and directories. So there's different arguments, different parameters that you could pass, and the arguments that you could try it is if you do man find command, it will just give you all the argument, every one of them, and then every now and then you might just consult the man pages for further information. I don't need to do that one. I memorized all of those ones, and then from time to time I just need to use it though. And if now you can see here on this find, if I say find dot print, this will just print all the files, everything on that directory. Notice that it's there. And if I just say word count -l, then it's going to say there was 42,666 files. That was a lot. So now if I just say find dash name, from that dot means from the current directory, search for everything. So then I say, okay, from that directory, find everything that are $shell is stuff. Dash name store.sh is gonna just say that money is there. If I don't want to do a word count on them, I get a list of them, then it's going to show all the ones there. So let's say Perl test is one of them or something. If I want to get like LT main.sh, then I could just go specific to this one, say LT main and then $sh, and it will just find out any file that has the extension, the name as LT main.sh. At the same time, like Perl test was one of them. If I make it like that Perl test, that might be only one or two of them is over there, and that directory it is there. So at the same time, now let's do a find and then search for any file that has the extension of .c++. So now it's there on this one. And then at the same time, if I want to say search for files that are star.c, it will get those ones there. And if I want to go only to hello.c, then I say hello.c is there, and there's two of them. Now, what is the exec useful for? You found out that hello.c, that there are two of them, then you can say minus exec, ls minus ld, and give me a long listing of those two files. And then this minus ls minus l is the command that I want to execute as a new process with the exec. And then this left braces, right braces, and semicolon is the syntax that you say go to a loop on this directory. And remember that find command that I did here? This find command basically is going to find the files in there. So if I clear the screen and run that find command, what I'm saying is that look at the current directory with any file name that has the extension that has hello. I don't need to put a star in front of it because those files start with the as hello. And then since it is those ones, now I made it only to show, give me a long listing of the files. So if I just say, no, just give me a list of the files, then it's gonna just list them for you. So this command here, while you were saying it, if you wanna say cat it, then you could just see the cat command for each one of them. And then you could also do a cat minus n, you get line numbers on it. So this file is hello.c, and then if I just give the extension of hello.c, the first file that was found is this one, and it has these lines. And then the same thing on the other one. So this is very neat that you can do commands on this one. So let's say if I just do this command, I'm gonna move this cursor a little bit, make it a little bit longer, so it covers more information. Sorry, you can see the mouse's pointer is as ready. So that's good enough for the size. I just wanna write one more time, and this time I'm successful. So let's run this command here, and then you could just see that the command that you're doing is hello.c is the one that we want to get the output. But what if I just want to see anything with the extension of hello anything $star? So let's see if I have more files, and I'm going to do a list command. Notice there's a lot of files with hello. Some of them are .o, some of them are .rs. So then you say, well, if they're a text file like Python or .c, I want to see their source code. So the find command, it found it. Then you can do a file on them. And notice that these are some of them say C source, some of them are other ones. So there's another command that is xorg. You could do a combination of this to say any file that are ASCII text, and then list me that one only. So another easy way to do that one is that you can do something like minus exec, grep minus il, for example. If I just look for a file, anything with the extension of .c, just to minimize it, and then I say, let's say, first, I'm going to say cat the file, so you know the content of the file. So notice that it has the printf statement or the word MyWebUniversity.com. So what you want to do is say, well, let's see, instead of cat command, I want to do grep minus il, and then just give the name of the file that has the string MyWebUniversity. MyWeb is good enough that we'll find that one. Notice that hello.c and other ones that are having it, MyWebUniversity, it found it. And if I say, okay, and instead of listing the file name, that's the file name, I want to see the actual string. Minus L means list them. So now this is listed. Now let's do actually grep on the I for that string inside, so you can see the content of it. And right here is the MyWebUniversity there. Similarly, if you say, what about the word put character, put chart, and notice that all of those ones were fine there. So the minus exec give you flexibility to run multiple commands on the same kind of files and everything. And then another thing that you could do is with the grep command, you could just say, well, let's do, instead of the grep command with this, I could say, give me a file for it first. And then that would say all the files that are there. And then you say, how about the one with hello.c? If I want to just say any file that is a text file, these are all text file, as you can see here, because I have the give the extension of that one. But if I say give extension star, meaning that they could be other type of file, like this one is ASCII text, and this one is executable link format. So if I'm just looking for executable link format, this .object file, because when you do a GCC compile, hello from hello.c, you create this object file, then you use linker ld command to make this one a link to it, and then you create the executable file hello. So the hello is not in this directory because I gave only $. But if I say hello this itself, look at the hello is this executable. So then if I just say whatever is the on this program on Rust or some other ones with the hello, if you want to just run it, you could run it. Hello for Go language, hello for executable, for any one of them. Let's say I'm looking for the directory for C++ only, right? So then I could say, in this directory, I say, look for the directory find /how to, and then /programs/C++. So now I only want the C++ executable files. So that is going to give me that. And then notice that this is the file that if I want to just run this file from this directory, say copy this one and paste it. And this is going to run that script and say, hello world, welcome to MyWebUniversity.com, because the program is executable. As you can see here, executable link format. So then I could just programmatically also run this one and say, while you do this one, you don't have to even look at the specific version. I could put even this one to a while read a var, and then do, and say, first of all, say echo working on $, var, which is the file name now, and then say stat $var and ls minus ld and $var. So notice that interactively you can do multiple commands on the same files that are found. But notice that there are some other ones, because I just did not parse it to only have the file name. So this command, it did missed it. Notice it failed on that one. Why did it fail? Let me show you why. So if I did run this command without the while read var here up to here, you can see that it is just this information. All I need is that before the colon, I could just say, only give me the first one, the head of that one. Head -1, that would give me just the first one, hello.c plus, but terminated by signal. So let's see, yeah, right here, minus print, minus exec, and then let me make it shorter. I think it is not a good way to teach you these commands. That's too long for learning it. So at this time, hello.print, this one, when we print it, it's going to give that information. So I'm only interested on this one, but because I did a file on it, no. Let's say find this one minus name, hello, and then dash print. Yeah, I did a find. So instead of doing a find here, I could just cut it up to here, dash print, and that would just give me that file name, right? So notice this one just give me that file name. So now I could say, run this command, do a while read, and then file, and then say do echo working on $ file now. First you list it there, and then say ls -ld $file, and then I'm going to just say read key here just to read a key, and then at the same time I could just say do another command, start $file on it, and then read another key, so we could see for each file we could see read key again, and then that is there, and then at this time I want to also run the executable to run it, so and then I could say file $file. That's gonna just show that it's executable link format. Since it's executable link format, I could say $file. Okay, so it's a few commands, but watch how cool it's gonna work. And first we said that give me the list. It finds out that this file is executable link format. And when we did a second command after the read key did not pause it for some reason. It just passed in. Usually the read it should actually is a pause rather than read key, and then read key should be inside the program. So this is this, and then it is doing that, and then okay, and so it produces the output here, regular file, and then at the same time it gave a statistics on it, a stat on it, and then it shows that it's executable link format with the file command, file $, and then lastly it ran it, and it just says this file does not exist because I forgot the $. So let's correct that one, because we want to just run it with whatever is the file name. Now you see the output comes in with the executable, and then wherever I'm doing the read key, I could just, instead of read key, let's see, read key should have worked. Read, okay, let me just say pause, and then read key here again. I'm gonna say pause. See if pause, yeah, it does not pause. So I could just, instead of pause, I could say sleep like 5 seconds or something. So I have some window to just see the output differently, right? After that. So file, and then here, pause, and instead of pause, you just say sleep 5 seconds also. Now you see that it wait 5 seconds, so it runs the first command, and then it runs the second command and it runs fine, and then it give a stat and then pause 5 seconds and then do that one. You can also do whatever window here. Every time that you do this command within the sleep, you can say the date, run this one so you could see the date, and then right after this sleep, run the date so it shows that find command. And then you can also do an echo, so it just print the new line character here, and then here the same thing, date, semicolon, and then sleep, and then date, and then sleep, and then echo. So that would just also give you this. And if I just wanna do some more just before the working, here I could say echo minus E and then /n/n. So the new line, 2 new line characters before it goes there, and then at the end right here, I could do a echo minus n minus E, and then just give 2 more new line characters to terminate it and then run it. Notice it's much better in the terms of how the output looks here. So every command is a little bit more cleaner, but when you write it a script, you can always automate it and check it there differently. So that's one way to do find command. Let me show you another way to do find command with exec here. So let's say I'm looking for files that are a special size. I could say find dot minus size, and then I say plus 2 meg. So 2 meg would be just showing all the files that are 2 meg or larger. And then if you just say minus print and then minus exec, let's say this qsh minus sh, this qsh command to just run it, and then you could just get it. And notice for each file, it is showing the size on it as well. And but this is a lot information, so I'm gonna say instead of for every file, I say minus name star.c, for example. Every file that are in the C with 2 meg or larger, it's going to show. But because it's not that size, so I'm going to make it plus 2K. And notice there's a lot of files are matching on that file size with the extension of the 2K. So if I just say, show me the one that are 200K or larger, and then now the list is small, right? So this the larger the size you want, you could just do it that size. And if you want it in megabyte, like 220 megabyte and larger, then it doesn't match any file with the .c. But maybe if I just search for everything, there's a lot of files that are matching with 23 meg or something larger, right? So this is how you just search for files. But on this other one, I want to show you another method of just having files that are much larger. So if you say, for example, on this directory, notice that I have some files that are huge. So this qsh minus sh star, notice that this qsh minus sh star shows you some of the HTML file, the organza file is about 11 gig, right? So if I just say, show me on this directory, from the current directory, minus name any file that is, the size is 10 gig or larger. So I say plus 10 gig, and that would be 10 gig or larger. So it should report this one, right? And then if I just say print that one, it just listed that file. And now if I say minus exec, this usage dash sh, run it in summary, I should have the same output that I was getting from that. And it says 11 gig here, and then 11 gig here. So that was the only criteria that was plus size of that one, right? So this syntax here, you could say slash, semicolon, or you could say plus here. That would be the same command output. So you can, and this is like basically saying, carriage return end of line. This is for each of these loop, it goes through the same sequence. Whichever syntax is easy for you, just memorize that one. So now that is showing you the files with exec as well. However, you might be just saying, Wahid, show me that I'm only going to look for a file that the size is exact 2.1 meg. So how do I do that one? You could just, instead of plus or minus, you could just say 2.1 meg. Put the exact size and it will show that one. So let's see, 2.1 meg. That's a directory, Torgan zip file, and it says that 2.1 meg is not found, invalid argument. Let's say the way maybe the dash is not the 1 meg. Let me just try 2.1 meg is this is going to find anything with this, and then I'm gonna say plus 2.1 meg, it will show that one there. But if I say minus 3 meg, I'm sorry, minus 3 meg, this will just show any files that are there. That summary is still added up. So I don't want to add it up. I just want to say dash print. And that would just print those files that are minus less than 3 meg. Let's see if that is accurate or not. So I say minus exec, ls minus ld, and then just give me the output. And then, so these are the sizes for each one of them, the one that are reported here. It looks like it might be accurate. So I'm gonna do a disk usage, disk usage on it. And you can see the size of each of the files on the directories, minus sh. Summary. The one with the 11 gig is because I say anything that is larger in the current directory, it shows me. So the only way you could do exact size, and let me see on this other command, I could just go exact size here for another file that I would look for. So let me just go to how to. I'm going to make it specific to one directory. So I can see under programs, and then obviously you don't need to go down there, but I want to see a size of a file $sh that is exactly. So you notice that this file xterm is 1147, right? So if I say word count minus l xterm.sh, you can see it's 28 lines, and then the number of characters, I can see how many characters are together is 1147 bytes, right? So this usage minus sh, xterm.sh, it says that it's a 4K size. So that is meaning that is the block size of this is altogether is 1147 meg. So I say find dot minus name star any files that doesn't matter minus size. I'm going to say exactly 47 meg kilobyte. This is not kilobytes, so it's bytes. And then minus print, it is still not showing it. Let's do 4K plus 4K. And then 4K, I believe K has to be uppercase, like meg and the other ones. Yeah, K is lowercase, and the other one are bytes. So if you look at the list of the options that are there for megabyte, gigabyte, other ones you can write an uppercase, but with kilobyte, when you type in an uppercase, it's not going to understand it. So that is the drawback on this format options, but I will show you what they have done it here. So let's say that file that was there, extern.sh, okay? So if we look at another file No, let me just do a man find command first and show you the megabyte versus gigabyte and all that options that are there. So right here, if I get into that option here, so the size, when you do it, there's a plus n, means anything greater than that number. So if you say plus 5 gig, that means 5 gig and larger. So the 11 gig will also be included. 6 gig will also be included. If you say minus n, a size of n, minus means anything lower than that number, 5 gig or less. And then this is an exact size, n is for exact size. So the 1147 should have matched the number that we wanted, or the 4K, if it is the size there, we could have to do the 4K size for that one. And then this is like when the file is newer, access modification time. There's a lot of modification time and executable time that in one video we cannot cover all these options. This INAME is that when you ignore the case sensitivity. So a match would be for foo and everything. This is a very good argument that if you want to search for case and sensitivity, instead of name, you just put dash INAME, ignore the name, the string that you want to do. And then there's other options, regular pattern, prone, and other ones that we're not gonna get with all those options, but I'm sure this other one, like this is that's permission. I'll give you some options of those ones are good to know. And then the size, notice that is N, and then C for character, W for word, B for blocks, and then K for kilobyte, and uppercase M and G. That's what I was talking about, this option. With size, these are the actual characters that you could do. So for up to K kilobyte, you're using lowercase. When you reach to a megabyte and gigabyte, you use uppercase letter. That's very important. And as you can see here, this K is lowercase. So 1000 unit of 1024. So if it's 4K, 4 times 1024. And then if it is 8K, 8 times 1024. And then meg and gig. And then the word is there in character, and byte is and 512 blocks. So that's very important to know also. The file option I already showed you, and the username dash user option is good. Sometimes you want to just search for a user, particular user. The dash writable, whether it's a directory, a file is writable or executable, you could say dash executable. And then if it is not, you say slash bang, not executable or not readable. You could do that one. Also, you could use the octet number. This dash delete, you can also do dash delete, and instead of minus exec or m command, you could do it one way. And then you can also do the xorg with rm command option. I show you a couple of things like exec, I did already, exec changer. So there's a number of them. Dash file, we already showed you those ones. Dash f print, that's print 0, and then print command. The only difference is that whenever you do print with prints, it will just print all files and show blank lines and everything. But when you do, new line characters, when you say print 0, a line terminator, null, and spaces are treated as they are. So that's important. And then obviously there's more option here. You're welcome to go through the man pages. There are some examples, as you can see here, and then some of the examples are very intuitive. So this one is looking for all the files under repo directory, exact. If it's a directory dash D means directory, and then so on. And then it just does an OR statement and exact this. There's more OR exact. So, and then dash prone. It's just like sometimes you don't want to include snapshot and other ones, you could prone those ones as well. So the find command, also there's a command similar to find command that's called xorgs right here, and that I'll show you in another video how xorg works. XOR works similar to a while read kind of argument, but we will show you this. So now this is the like showing all the files, store.c and printed, and then other ones. At the same time, you could search for file name as this, code.c. You can print all of that one. You can use the dash o for option or statement, but you have to put it between left parentheses, right parentheses, and you have to escape the parentheses, right parentheses. With dash A for and statement, you could also do that one. So just looking at the some files, for example, under the /etc, you have all these files. So if I say find /etc directory, everything notice that is there. But if I say find etc dash print, it will show on the files with dash print as well. And then if I just say find.etc minus name is star.conf, so just list all the files with the extension .conf file, that would do that one. And then you say, okay, find all the files with on the etc dash type is a directory. So list all the files that are directory, then you could do that one, and then by just doing this, you could say minus exec, ls minus ld, and then list it. And now notice that this one will just show you that they are directory. Since they're all start with the D, that is directory here. Similarly, if you say, show me only the one that type is type file, then it will list all the files that are file here. Notice the permission of these files are these one are 644, this one is 755. So if I'm looking for this permissions on this one, I could say find this one, and instead of type exec, I could say my type F, and then I could say also, and instead of that, even type F, I don't have to say type F, and I say just show me any file. Obviously, it is a file when it is executable, right? It's not, directory is also executable. So we could just say find dot minus perm is 755. So notice that it's there minus exec, and then to just prove it that those are 755, you could see that when you do that one, the list goes on. But notice here minus 5 minus perm, because we did it for the ls minus l, we meant to do ls minus ld. Minus ld, that means that when they're directory, don't list that the content of the directory, only list it with list. If you just miss that d, it's gonna just list every content of the directory. So that's important here. Okay, so if I just clear my screen here, and then after this running this command, clear screen, and just show you this, notice this this one is going to list the directory. I could have also said here minus type and d, and then just do this one, it will just do the listing there. But again, if I just don't do this minus exact, it will just list this. And then if I say now run the command ls minus l, then it's going to look at the content of those directory, which I don't want that. So there's different ways you could do this one. So now let's do a find minus type, show me a symbolic link. Minus type L means all the files that are symbolic link. How do I know that this is proving to be symbolic link? Notice some of them are also showing a permission denied because I'm logged on as myself. And so in order for you to not get a permission denied command, because this etc left word is not readable by regular user. You see that? It says permission denied. So when you do it inside find, it does the same thing. So now if I do this one, let's just become root first. Sudo su dash, and then I'm going to provide the password. if I just cd to etc and then do a find um, dot or just give it the etc. I don't have to be on etc directory. I could be anywhere, right? I could be on home or Wahid directory or slash home and then clear screen here and say I could be on tutorial. Doesn't matter where I am. I could run the find command. Say let's start with etc directory minus type for symbolic link is L. But notice that this list is there. Now I don't get permission denied because I'm root here. Clear screen, ID-UN, I'm root. So when I do this one with the root access, it's not gonna just say libvirt. So as a symbolic link or anything. So when you did this one, notice this file somewhere was some file with libvirt. Let me just search for that one now. I could say minus a name, also something vert. Let's say something like that. I saw that name, and then it's gonna find that file. And then I say, okay, this is good. That all these socket files that are there on the system, I want to just see why they are symbolic linked, what they are linked to. So then I could say minus exec ls minus ld, and then just run that list. And now it is going to show they are a symbolic link to these other files. So the first file is symbolic link, and you see that this link. And for each one of them that are symbolic link, the first character has a L. If it was a regular file, it would be dash. If it's a directory, it's a D. And if it's a symbolic link, it is a L. And then if it is a block of files, it's a B. It's a device, it's a D, and so on. So that's the type of the file when you do the find. But notice this arrow pointing to that one. This is saying that this is a symbolic link, and the file is actually pointing to this other file. So you could do a lot of other stuff with it, with that minus exec. So if I say just in the save ls minus L, run the file command that I was telling you, file then dash exec file this and then plus. So now notice that this one, it clearly tells you that this is symbolic link. And then if I just say find the files that are, I don't have to worry about the directory. I could say just type as D, and then they are saying all of them are directly here. And if I just want to say, let's say the files that are just regular file dash type as F, and show me, they're showing you dash F. It's either ASCII text or some kind of executable or some kind of conf file or UTF-8. It tells you all the type, whether it's POSIX or anything, it tells you those options. So there's this detail. If I go here, and instead of this file on the ATC, I say look for the current directory here. Notice that all the how-to programs, all of them, are showing in terms of the type of the permissions. So then I say, well, that's too big. Let's just make it minus on the, I could specify a particular directory, or I could say minus name star.c for C program or C++ file. Let's say for C++, and then I could just get all the list with C++. And if I just say, give me the .python file, it will just give me all the .python file. And similarly, if I say, and give me files that are Python, and then and let's say .c program, I could get it, but let's see for the Python if I can make a sense of a smaller list with that subset. So I say .py, and then since it's a lot of them under this Python laptop, and then I just had so many ways that I did it on Mac or Linux or Windows, those directory keep growing, right? So imagine how many programs I have there. But if I'm just looking for only some Python program that are not an Apache and other ones. I could do a prone on the Apache, don't list the Apache ones or something, but let's just make it specifically to like any hello.python program. If I have anything with hello star, now I do. So when you do this, it's a smaller subset. Hello.py, and then you say, okay, hello exactly, not asterisk. And so let's just say hello.py, and these two are matching there. And then the one that I'm interested, obviously, I could just look at the content of it. At the same time, I could say, just cat those commands, cat -n, and then just show me each one of them. So this is one of them, and then that's the other one. The to program the one with one to this, and then if you want to just do more than just that, notice here, clear screen here. If you just don't do this with the -exec, this shows you the two file name, right? Then you could also do put it into a while read, and then say variable or file name. Let's do variable here in this case. I say do, and now I'm going to say echo. Notice that this interactivity is going to help you a lot as administrator or developer. So here I say working on $var now. So you tell yourself that what you're working on, and then here you want to say pause, not pause actually. Let's say sleep 2 seconds, and then echo, so it will be clear screen here. I mean the not clear screen, information here in a nice format. Then I could say ls-ld file. So I put it the $var, and then I say run the sleep command again, and 2 seconds, and then say let's get a stat of that file, $var, and then sleep 2 seconds again, and then say echo. And then here I'm going to do cat -n $var. So we will cat it, and then say sleep 5 seconds, so we can read the content a little bit faster. And then here I could just even clear the screen to start over for the next file. So then I say done. Notice it's gonna say working on that file. Then it does ls-ld, then it stats, then it contents of it now clears the screen after that file is there, and then it says working on the next one. So if you have 1,000 file, it doesn't matter, right? And just it will do for all of them. It's really neat, and so this interactivity is going to help you big time when you do automation. So if I just want to do for so many files, any file with the extension .sh, for example, and then it will just go through each one of them and just run listed and stat, and then anything with .c you could do that. So the first one, when it does, I will stop it, and then I'll just do the second one with the .c, because the .c extension is a little bit smaller. So now this is the content of extern, and it's now doing the URL search word, and then it displays it. So there's a lot of stuff here that I already made videos for you, so you could learn from it. But if you look for anything with the .c extension or .c++, whatever, you could do that one. Similarly with .rast file or .go language, anything, and you could do that one. So let's just do one for the Go language also. I'm gonna Control C out of this one, and then say search for the .go, see if we have any script here, or .java. So you could do in any programming language and look at your source code and find out all the details. Cool, huh? There's a lot of like R language, C language, C++, C#, anything that you write code in it, You can look at them and run them, execute it, and memorize them, do a lot of stuff. So here with the perm, we did that perm. So if I just find a file, let's say on this directory under the tutorial, I'm going to just say touch some files. I'm going to say touch uh, this. I'm going to call it a core. Okay, so touch a file called core, which is 0 byte. I don't have to have any files here. And then I say, okay, under the how to directory, make there, touch core on the how to directories also. And so core. Now, if I just say, and show me only those two files, store them from the root here, I could go on the root directory, but I want to just only concentrate on the tutorial. So tutorial, and then right here, if I just say find dot minus name core file, and it's just going to find out all the files that are core file. But notice that it is going to look for other under shell Apache stuff, core files, and other ones. So if I want to just only specifically to do it under this file, I could do that one. But I could also say that show me only the one that are under how to section, and then find it. But then it will search program files here too. Okay, so if I just want to do delete only one core files, not all of them, I could specifically point to, and instead of this dot, I could specifically point to this path. For example, say go up to modules and list that one, and then do that one. But that's like too much hardcore program, right? And so how do you do this one? The prone is gonna give you a way to just say only list at the one that are on not on this directory. So let's do this one. I'm gonna say find dot and then slash. Let's say dot slash. I'm going to say only list this. Copy and then paste. Sorry, I just copied more than what I wanted to do. So like right here, let's say I say find slash minus name. The path is really huge, really huge, and then minus name core. So this is just saying that this is a no such file or directory. Find slash and this minus name core. Yeah, I had to be a dot slash because from that directory on, and it says there's no such directory with mode, maybe, and dash mode is yeah. So the actual directory is important. So when you're doing this one minus name core, it has to exist that file, and that's the one that you want to do. If you want to just copy that file, yes, you can make backup of the files with the find command easily also. Let me just go and how to directory. I want to show you an easy way to do a separate thing. Minus O and then name minus O dash name and then core. And that would just list the two core files. And then we could just say minus exec ls minus l and then symbolic link to that, and then just do that one. So that's the file that is 0 byte on the current directory that I was interested there, right? Since I have that file, core file here, it is 0 byte and it's on this current directory. What I could do is just pass on this argument and say, and instead of exec minus L, I could say RM and then just remove it. RM minus RF if it's a directory, RM if it's a file. Now, if I just do this file doesn't exist. But if I tag it, say core, and now I run the same command again, and then it's there, and now I can run the find command, it finds it and deletes it. Since it deletes it, now it's no longer there. If I run the find command, it says that I did not do anything because I did not find it. Echo $ question mark is saying successful because the find command found it, but it did not have to delete it because it did not find a file with that 0 byte. The command ran successfully though. Okay, so that's one way. Normally, when you do want to say, for example, on this directory, show me any file that are type D there, you could get this one, and then you say find on this directory any core files minus name core, then it will just do this one. Then you could say minus exec. You could do ls minus ld on it, and then if it is actual core file that you want to delete, then instead of ls minus ld, you could just pass on ls minus. You could do rm or rm minus, or if it's a folder. But be careful with these ones. You don't want to just wipe out something that is there. That's the reason. Right here, there's a class that's missing with the braces, so that's why. So if I exit out of this command here, and then just go to this command here that I did, that command is failing. Why? Because the syntax was inaccurate. ls minus ld, I meant to do this and then this. That's going to work. So the other command was, it was nothing on memory. Maybe on the other one I have to do something, check on it as well. Okay. It's very important to say what you're doing is you type it correctly. And so here, let's say I go with all the files with the .py extension. Notice that some of them are having this kind of permission. Since the owner is having root, I couldn't delete it, right? So it prompted me, even though the alias was not assigned to it. And now if I just say, let's say the URL test, I'm going to look for the URL test, Notice that file is there. And as soon as I say, instead of rm and this one, I say /bin/rm, remove it, it's going to prompt me. Then I say, go ahead, delete it, yes. And because I own the other directory, let's see if it deleted it or not. So this one, yeah, it deleted it. The prompt is showing you, but if you just didn't want to see the prompt, like these other ones are there, let's say the file that was there right there. You have a list of them, right? If I just want to do a list of these ones, and then I say, go ahead, delete them, and I say rm, once you do /bin/rm, then notice that it is still root, it's going to prompt me. And then I say Control C out of it. This time I'm going to say this and then -f. F means force it. Don't prompt me. So now all the files with the extension .back, .py.back is deleted. So ls minus ld is 0 byte, 0 files. But if I want to make a backup of it, obviously, I could do the same backup again. So the mystery is cleared here because the file, first of all, I was typing the permissions without this braces, and at the end of it, sometimes when I type in too fast and I don't look at it, and it might be a typo. So I corrected the typo, and then now the output is there correctly. And then similarly for files that you're looking for spatial permissions or something. Now notice this one is 644. So if I just say find on this directory any files that are stored, it doesn't matter what type, I could say -perm is 644. So this is going to list all the files that has the permission of 644. So I say -exec, ls -l, and then run this one, and then run this. Now you could see all those directories and I mean all the files, or 644 the permission. It's really cool that you can do a lot with the find command. So I'm sorry for some of the typing or doing too fast or something, but when you do the find, it is very, very efficient way to do it. And then if I just say find star.c, and that are 644, I did not find anything. But if I say find anything with any extension that is there, doesn't matter what permissions are, I could just say do this. So all permissions are listed. And now the files that are 755, I could say show me all the files that are with the perm as 755. This will list the same files there again. So depending on what you want, you can get a certain files permission there. You could also say, for example, on this directory, find that files that are only permission that are directory. So you could say find that on this directory minus type D. Now, since they're all D directory should be read, write, executable by the owner, and read and executable by the group, and by others, read, write, executable. So if I just say this minus exec ls minus l d, and then I just do this, and then do a plus here, sorry, minus plus here, then you could see that this command that I did, let me just run the command right here. Before I run it, it says find dot minus type, it's a directory, then run the ls minus ld, this start a loop indent and plus, or and instead of plus, you could do this too, with semicolon. So now I run it, it just lists all the files that are directories that are there. But notice some of the directories are wide open, like this Java program, or open by other group also there. So you don't want to have this kind of inconsistency for files and for directories. What you want to have is 755 permission, something like this, 7, meaning that is read, write, execute by the owner, Wahid, and then read and execute by the group, which is root, and then read and group by everybody else. Read and execute, not writable. So how do I do that one? I could say find this, and then I say instead of this one, I could say change mode 755, and then run that. So now it's gonna just do all of those ones with the permission. Now it is done. I'm going to run the previous command. Notice on the leftmost column, everything, the permissions are 755. There's no inconsistency. That's the file. But if you're looking for like a regular file, so you look at this one in the state of this type. If you say, and just show me files that are there, regular files should be executable only if it's a binary. And if it's a regular file like a .c, it's a source code, right? So you could say, show me everything .c minus name star.c. Obviously, star.c is a file, so I don't have to do that one. Let me just clear the screen and do the star.c, and then here minus type. I don't have to say it, but when you do the code, you have to close it, and that would give you all the files that are .c. And then similarly, if you want to see .sh, they're all these files. And notice the permissions of them are 644. So if I go to the shell directory and then say go to programs, clear screen, cd to shells, and I'm running it on a smaller directory, so you don't see like too much output here. And then right here you can see it still is a lot, but those ones notice that this is shell is also, if I'm running it as executable, I could make it executable by owner, and everybody else should also have executable, but not writable by the group, by group or others. So how do you do that? And say, show me everything here. You say, if it's a Dodge shell, it should be executable. So you say change mode 755 because it's readable, writable, executable by owner, and then read and execute by the group and others. So I could do this one. Now it looks consistent. If I do this command here with this, you can see the permissions are all consistent across here. All the shell executables are executable, but it's read writable there and then. So if you're doing a development on a web server or something, it's very important to make sure that what is supposed to be opened by the users of the group and other ones, it's supposed to be open. What's not supposed to, it's not supposed to. Otherwise, you will have a security issue on those ones. And some of these file name with the everyday extension, at the time, maybe I did it for with the root account, creating it, and then I just nobody wanted to read this man to PDF file or something, so I just open it. But now it is readable by everybody, so everybody look at the content of it because I'm teaching a lot of videos for how to make videos online, and then you're welcome to go to MyWebUniversity and subscribe, or go to my YouTube channel here and start learning online everything. So if you are interested to learn the PDF format of these commands, on my book called The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu, which is all you need is a browser. You don't need to install Linux Red Hat or Rocky or CentOS or Ubuntu. You just go on the browser and need internet access, and then go to, like, for example, chapter 12 on this one, the PDF format. There's other chapters that is showing on a very nice table format. But if you're looking for a particular command, like find, you can just come in here, type in find, and then this will just search it and click on submit. The find command just dynamically generated. Now you look at it and then open it, and then this is your find command. And then all the details are there, okay? And then notice that if there's any kind of link for it, you can also go to the internet and just read the information on GNU.org and other ones. So there's a lot of code reusability on this one. It's really good. Similarly, if you're looking for the exec, there you could just search for exec here. The entire 6.9 thousand documentation that are manual pages, I just generate them on PDF format for you, writing a Python program. So that is all on the internet, accessible for you. If you're looking for a bash, for example, just type in, click here on the submit, and this bash will get created. It's about 366 lines, as you can see here. I mean, pages, or 84 pages bash, but there are other ones that are GCC is like 366 and bash is 84. So any command that you're looking for, like xorg, for example, xorg, and then the xorg is, this is the X Windows session. But if you're looking for something else, you can also come in on the chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 8, all of these ones. You can see there's a lot of PDF here. And let's say you're looking for a Red Hat, you just come in on chapter 11. If you're looking at chapter 10 for Rocky, it's similarly for Ubuntu, chapter 9 and or chapter 8, and so on. So you click on this one and then notice that there's thousands of 12,000 something just on Red Hat in a very nice format, section 1 through section 9. This is going to be so much useful for developers and programmers all over the world, and you guys are going to benefit it a lot. So if I look for find command, you can see that the find, and there's 7 of them, find with the find. So the one that's find.1 is the one that you're interested, and then once you search for it, you can also do a find.1 to match exactly that one faster. But you can also click on this one to go through them, and then find.3 is a section 3 of manual pages. This is also gonna be helping you. You can run the list of, this is like all the C library for the standard and C library. Okay. So Control F, find dot one, and then I'm going to take 2 of them, and then IP find, and then the other one was debug find, and so on. So all of these ones are available for you. And if you're looking for Ubuntu, is right here, chapter 8, Linux Ubuntu, that I just showed you. Search for command find here. Let's see on Ubuntu, what is that gonna show you. There are 6 of them, and then find.1 right away, it shows up here. So depending on the platform, I generate that one for Ubuntu like this, and then I give credit to MyWebUniversity, Python, Linux Ubuntu, and PDF module that I wrote the program, and then here's the output for you. Okay. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn it, and I hope you benefited. There's thousands of files and videos here. You're welcome to subscribe and enjoy. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.